Everyone. You've probably heard that on November 4th, the DDF deemed the title Co-Redemptrix as inappropriate for our Blessed Mother. So I've been pondering recently, well, what term might I use? What term might we use as an alternative? Right, because the document upholds a proper theology of Mary's work and cooperation with Jesus in the redemption. So we can still speak about the theology, but what title or what name might we give Our Lady in this way? What came to me today, pondering more, is this. What about Mary as helpmate in the Garden of Redemption? Okay, Mary as helpmate in the Garden of Redemption. All right, so think about Mary as the helpmate in the garden with the new tree of life at the cross. And think about Mary as helpmate in the garden, the vineyard of the church. I think it has a nice little poetic ring to it. Mary, helpmate in the Garden of Redemption. And there's deep theology as well. So think about Eve, the woman given to Adam in Genesis chapter 2:18. Eve is called helpmate. Then Eve is called woman in 2:25. Right? And the garden theme continues throughout all of salvation history, all the way to the end. Revelation 22:1-5. The tree of life is there again. In the garden, it's there, the same intimacy as the garden, but now it has expanded to be a city, the city of God, open to the nations. So Mary, she is the helpmate in the Garden of Redemption, the tree of life at the foot of the cross, in the life of the church, the vineyard of the church. She is the woman, the new Eve, right? And so Jesus calls her woman at the wedding feast of Cana, John 2:4. We can see there a sign, a beginning of Mary's work in the church, in the Garden of Redemption, which is the church. And she's, of course, is called Mary, woman, at the foot of the cross. Woman, behold your son. Behold your mother. So I like it. Someone pointed out to me today also that Mary herself refers to herself as handmaid. And what does handmaid mean? But an especially devoted helpmate. And so anyways, if you like it, go with it. I think that's how I will preach about it. That's the phrase, the term I will use to identify Mary's work, cooperation with Christ and redemption. I think it's important for a couple of reasons. First, to appreciate her role in our lives as mother, as interceder, the one who intercedes for us. The new Eve who helped us in the work of redemption. But I also think it's important to emphasize Mary as helpmate in the Garden of Redemption, because we too have a share in the work of redemption. Colossians 1:24, to fill up what's lacking in the cross of Christ, sufferings of Christ, in the sense of extending that redeeming work in every time and place. And so we too have a role, and so to seeing Mary and her role in redemption awakens us to our role as well. And this actually fits very well with the Magnificat, right? So Mary earlier in Luke 1:38 referred to herself as handmaid, helpmate of the Lord, servant of the Lord. And in the Magnificat, she refers to herself as a servant, a handmaid. He looked with favor on the lowly state of his servant. And then later in the Magnificat, she refers to all of Israel as servant. Remember your promise of mercy, servant Israel, servant Israel. To see it, it's a rich theology the Magnificat, Mary's Magnificat is building on, from Isaiah. Isaiah 54:17 marks an important transition. Up to that point in Isaiah, it was the servant of the Lord, the suffering servant, the servant of the Lord, singular. But from this point on, it's servants of the Lord. And then into third Isaiah 50, 5 to 66, 10 or 12 times, servants in the plural. The church, the people of God, servants in the suffering servant. Right? And so we all gather around Jesus, the one mediator, the one redeemer, but we all have this share in his redeeming work. He created us without us, but he doesn't want to save us without us. And he involves us and one another's salvation and working it out. And among us in the church, we have the mother of the church, Mary, who exemplifies, and more than anyone, has this role, important role in Jesus's work of salvation. It ennobles us. It builds us up. It elevates his creation to give us this role. And so Mary especially is this helpmate in the garden of redemption. Our Lady of the Rosary, pray for us.